There's only three plans that I actually would get on in Medicare. And this is whether you're turning 65 and going on Medicare for the first time, or whether you're on Medicare now and you're thinking about switching your plan because you're unhappy with it. My name is Brian Monahan. I've been working with people going on to Medicare and people on Medicare for the past 15 plus years. And in my videos, I like to show you the raw data about different plans so you can understand which plan is best for you. So let's jump into the numbers. Now, a lot of people ask me, why only three plans would you get on? Well, number one, I always tell people, in my opinion, you should always get on a gap plan when you first start Medicare. The reason being is you can always go to a Medicare Advantage plan, but with a gap plan, you do not have underwriting when you first go on to Medicare. So this enables you to get on one of these plans, see if you like it, and if not, switch to another plan, or you can always go to a Medicare Advantage plan. But if you get on a Medicare Advantage plan, you only have up to 1 year, and then you might not be able to get on a gap plan for the rest of your time on Medicare. Unless the laws change, that's the way that it is. And number two, these plans are taken throughout the entire country by any doctor or hospital that takes Medicare. So you don't ever have to ask, do you take this plan? Do you take my plan G or plan N? The only question you have to ask your doctor or hospital is, do you accept original Medicare? That's it. So let's jump into the numbers. So the very first plan that I want to talk about, of course, is the plan G. This is the most comprehensive plan that you can get on, and it's also the most popular plan. Now, speaking with people throughout the entire United States, I actually spoke to someone from Alaska yesterday, speak to people from California all the time, Arizona, Minnesota, North Carolina, Florida, New York, everywhere. And I speak to them about these three plans, but it always goes back to the plan G. So let's talk about the plan G. Plan G, a typical premium is going to run about $140 a month. Now, this is for someone who's 65 years old, but I've also looked up zip codes throughout the country, especially in the Midwest and Texas and so forth, and I've seen that even someone who's 70 years old can be paying $140 a month for this plan G. Now, as far as the companies go, there's a ton of different companies. There's probably about 30 companies in your area, but I'm not going to get into the companies because the plan G is the same throughout every single company. So the company name really doesn't matter. You just want to go over the plan. So this is the premium that you would pay on average is $140 a month. Now, what do you get with this $140? You get the hospital coverage at $0, which means you will pay nothing when you go into the hospital. If you have a surgery, anything that has to do with inpatient, you're going to pay zero. The only thing that you will pay with this plan, and I have it under doctor right here, is $226 for the year as a deductible. So I usually just tell people, just tie this $226 into your $140. And what I mean by that is just add $18 or $20 to this premium per month. So let's just say $160. And that's all you will pay for inpatient and outpatient services. This means doctors, CAT scans, skilled nursing for up to $100, ambulance, blood work, specialists, physical therapy. I mean, I could go on and on, but it's all your inpatient and outpatient. This plan, just like the other two plans, follows Medicare. So whenever someone accepts Medicare, they will accept your plan G, and the only thing you will pay are these two things: your premium and your $226 per year. Now, I actually did the math down here, even though it's pretty simple. So 140 times 12, if you look at this down here, 140 times 12, your premium is $1,680. 1,680 plus that 226 would equal $1,906. So if this is your premium, 140, this is the most that you will pay for hospital, doctor, and everything else, inpatient and outpatient, as you see up here. Now, up here I have MOOP. That's the maximum out of pocket, $1,906. Now, I'm going to go over the drug plan and the dental, vision, and hearing right now before I get into Plan N and Plan G. So with the drug plan, when you get any one of these plans, G, N, or high deductible G, you get a separate Part D drug plan. So a lot of people call and they ask me about Part B and Part A and so forth. So Part A is just your hospital. Part B is your doctor or outpatient services. And then C would be your Advantage plans. So you don't really have to worry about that. But Part D would be your drug plan. So you take your Medicare Part A and B card that you get from the government. Then you attach a Plan G or a Plan N or high deductible G. You choose a company and so forth, and you're going to have to use an agent or somebody who knows what they're doing with this. But then you will choose a drug plan and possibly a dental, vision, and hearing plan, and you will package it all together. It sounds complicated. It's really not. You get your A and B card. Let's just say then you get a Plan G. Then you get your drug plan. You choose whether you want a dental, vision, and hearing plan, and then you're finished. But with the drug plans, so they range from $5 to $35. And I actually spoke to someone yesterday, and I didn't really get into the drug plans on some of my other videos. So I'm just going to take a minute to go into it. So if you're taking, and I hear this a lot, I take 2 drugs, and they're both generic. I take a blood pressure and a cholesterol, or I take levothyroxine and a cholesterol, simvastatin or atorvastatin. If you're taking these tier 1 generics, you can get a plan that's between $5 and $10 a month. And your drugs are going to most likely be either $1 or $2 per month when you go to the pharmacy. So the cheapest plan out there is around $5 for the month. So you just add, 5 times 12, 60. So you add $60 to this 1906 would be for your premium. And then if you have those cheap generics, most likely they will be like $2 out of pocket each time you go get them. But if you have higher expensive drugs, what we do is we punch in your drugs into Medicare.gov, and I actually have a video on this. I will link it in the description box below. It's about 15 minutes long. It's very thorough. You go through Medicare.gov and pick your drug plan. But you punch in your different drugs, and it tells you which plan is best for you. Next, you have your dental, vision, and hearing. And I have no, because that means none of these plans cover it. You have to get it separate. Now, you do not have to get a dental, vision, and hearing plan. Some people opt out of that. They say, I don't need it. I'll just pay out of pocket, or I'll get one when I need one. There's no enrollment period for dental, vision, and hearing, so it's the last thing that you have to worry about. But I just put in here, they're about $40 a month for dental, vision, and hearing combined. And the thing about this is the Medicare Advantage plans group all of these things together, but that doesn't mean you're getting a great drug plan with that Advantage plan. A lot of times I've heard people that say, oh, I like this plan, but the drugs are killing me. They're expensive. And the same thing with the dentist or vision and hearing, especially dental. A lot of people complain that when they're on the Medicare Advantage, they can't use their dentist. Well, with this, you can choose any plan you want. So you want to call your dentist first and say, which plans do you take? I'm going to get a separate dental, vision, and hearing plan. So that's the Plan G. It's very clean, very smooth. Pay your premium, you pay your $226 deductible, and then you're finished. You get all of these things, inpatient, outpatient, and you get skilled nursing up to $100, up to 100 days, which is fantastic. Most of the Medicare Advantage, you only get 20 days for this. CAT scans would be zero after the 226 and so forth. You could do a lot of things. Okay, let's move on to Plan N. Plan N works almost the same as Plan G. The premium is usually about $35 less, and I did an average throughout the entire country. Plan N was around 106. Depends on your age and so forth, but this is what I came up with. And with this, you still pay nothing going to the hospital or inpatient, which is fantastic. So people always, the big ticket items are what you want to worry about when it comes to Medicare, especially when I talk to people and they're like worried about dental or something. That's the last thing you want to worry about. The major things are your hospital and skilled nursing and these big ticket items that could cost you $295 a day or something like that. And in the hospital, you pay zero with this plan. And the only thing that you would possibly pay for is a $50 emergency room fee. Now, if you go to the emergency room and you're admitted into the hospital, they waive that fee. But other than that, you pay nothing in the hospital. Now, for the doctor's office, you will pay that, or outpatient, you will pay that $226 deductible. This also goes for outpatient centers and urgent cares and so forth. So you pay that $226, just like Plan G, but then you see this plus 20. That's you have to pay up to $20 each time you go to the doctor. Now, I have talked to people throughout the entire country about this. Some people say my doctor does not charge me. A lot of doctors don't. They don't want to deal with it. They'll just take Medicare's payment and let their clients be because the clients love that. Some will charge the full 20. Some might charge $5 or $10. But I put plus 20 in here just so that you know outpatient would be up to $20. So then I put CAT scan at 0. CAT scans and MRIs, of course, are outpatient. So, once you finish this $226, they could possibly charge you up to $20. Skilled nursing, same thing, but that's inpatient most of the time. So if you're inpatient, it would work somewhat like the hospital, and you would still get that 100 days. So I did the math down here. Plan N. Your premium, let me put this up here. Your premium, $106 times 12 would be $1,272. You add that same deductible, $226, which would be $1,498. I put $1,498 plus $200 because I put that you paid the full price of $20 and you went to the doctor's 10 times. So this is more on the higher end. Some people don't go that much. But this is what it would cost you out of pocket for the year, $1,698. So as you see up here, Plan G, you have $1,906, and then down here you have $1,698. I should just put $1,700. So it depends on how you go to the doctors. Now, same with the drug plans and the dental, vision, and hearing. All of these are the same as what you would do with the G plan. You get a separate drug plan and a separate dental, vision, and hearing if you like. Now, one thing I have to tell you about the Medigap Plan N is it does have an excess charge attached to it. And what this means is, and of course, I always say less than 3%. It's less than 2% of the doctors in the entire country charge an excess charge. But they can charge up to 15% on top of your bill if they do not accept Medicare's payment. Now, of course, this would be 15% on top of the 20% that you would owe. But like I said, less than 2% of the doctors in the entire country. I have hundreds and hundreds of people on Plan N. I have never heard any of them say, I got charged an excess charge. That doesn't mean it's out there, but less than 2% is really, really low. Most of us have a better chance of winning probably the lottery or something. But I had to tell you about that. So next up would be the high deductible G. And of course, we always look at the max out of pocket over here and you see, wow, this one seems to be more expensive than the other ones for the year. Well, what I did here was I took the premium of about $40. Now, this premium, I have talked to so many people this open enrollment. It seems that the premium is around $40 for most people, whether they're 70 years old, 65. So I came up with this premium of $40 per month. Now, the thing about this is it's just like the Plan G, except for it has this high deductible of $2,700 for the year. I talked to a lot of people about this plan. A lot of people at the end get kind of spooked from this plan and say, you know what, I don't want that. I know why. Is because most people do not want to pay a big lump sum of money out of pocket. They would rather spread it out monthly, which is fine. But you'll pay this let's go through the math of this. You'll pay $40 times 12, which would be $480 in premiums. If you never go to the doctor, that's what your max out of pocket for this would be, $480. Still get the separate drug plan you'll have to get and the separate dental, vision, and hearing. But you take your $480 for the year and you add the maximum of $2,700. Now, most people will not max this out, of course, but if you did, this is the most that you will spend, $3,180. So let's take a look up here again. Here's your max out of pocket. Let's just say you only spent $1,000. Well, you would take that 480 plus 1,000, and that would be 1,480. So let's just change this real quick. This is much less than these other two plans, but like I said, if you max it out, that's what you're going to pay, 3,180. So some people say, well, I don't go to the doctors that much. I feel that this plan is really a competitor of the Medicare Advantage plans. And the reason being, just like the G plan, you can go anywhere in the country, any doctor that accepts Medicare, any hospital that accepts original Medicare, which is unlike the Medicare Advantage plans. You don't need referrals on any three of these plans, but you do have the added coverage of saying, I basically have a G plan. It's high deductible, but I am covered. This is the best coverage I can get in the country. The cool thing about this plan is there's one company in this country that when you get on a high deductible G, after 2 years, you can get on a regular G without underwriting, no matter what happens. So that's another really big thing. So I always say, if you're looking at Advantage plan and you're turning 65 or you're going on Medicare for the first time, or if you want to switch and you're not really sure because you have this Advantage plan, you kind of like it, but you want a gap plan, look at this high deductible G if you do not want to look at G and N. As far as the popularity of these plans, G is the most popular. N, of course, comes in second, but high deductible G is a far away third. So I hope this video helped. I do a lot of these videos on different subjects. If you call my office, we can actually send you some other videos. We can explain this in detail. And a lot of times people need to hear different things about their specific situation. So thanks for watching the video. Let me know how I can help you, and I'll see you at the next video.